Movie review number 1305 is The Ballad of Wallis Island. The Ballad of Wallis Island is a 2025 movie directed by James Griffiths. Griffiths. James Griffiths. This movie has footage features in it, and I saw this movie on April 20th, 2025 at AMC West Chester 18 in West Chester, Ohio. So this follows Charles, who is an eccentric lottery winner who lives alone on a remote island, Wallis Island, and he dreams of getting his favorite musicians back together, McGuire Mortimer. His fantasy turns into reality when the two bandmates and former lovers accept his invitation to play a private show at his home on Wallis Island. However, old tensions resurface as Charles tries desperately to salvage his dream gig. So here's what happens. In this movie, we see Charles. He is a lottery winner, and he asked two of his favorite musicians to come to his island home and play a show just for him. Now, one of the musicians, Herb McGuire, thinks that he's performing in front of a large audience. But when he finds out that it's just Charles, let's just say that he becomes a little frustrated. And so he's not sure if he wants to have this gig anymore. But then Neil Mortimer, who is the other musician, comes to the island along with her husband Michael, and let's just say that old tensions resurface as the two musicians, Herb McGuire and Neil Mortimer, old tensions surface when these two get back together, and they were once lovers. Right, they were musicians and they were lovers. And something happened in the past and they split up. Not only on each other, but also the band. Well, Charles tries to get them back together and play a show for him, but it is not exactly easy when two musicians who were once lovers meet each other again for the first time in years, and realizing that life is completely different than it was back then, and Herb isn't exactly sure how to resolve these old tensions. And Charles is trying to salvage this his dream gig, but the more he does, the more he tries to help diffuse the situation, the more and more annoyed Herb gets at him. And Charles likes to talk a lot, right? Literally a lot, about things that Herb finds completely uninteresting about. And Herb isn't really sure if he wants to be on this island anymore. He isn't sure if Charles being annoying bothers him more, or the fact that Neil Mortimer is on the same island as him. But he did promise a gig for Charles. The question is, can he keep that promise despite everything that happened? This was a pretty good movie, in my opinion. So we see Tim Key as Charles. Tom Baston is Tom Baston plays Herb McGuire in the movie. Cian Clifford portrays Amanda. Akim Nidifonian portrays Michael. And Carey Morgan portrays Neil Mortimer. I heard this began as a short film that Key and Baston made with the director James Griffiths, but it eventually became a feature film for footage features. And one thing I like later on in the movie, there's a reason why Charles writes Wallace Island, and he explains it to Herb. Herb doesn't get it at first, but later on in the movie, he might begin to understand more about Charles. and what Charles is going through. Charles may be happy a lot and likes to say things a lot, but let's just say that he has something secretive about him. And this makes Hope have a different opinion about him. But the question is, despite all tensions arising between the two musicians slash former lovers, can Hope and Neil play one last show for a man who lives alone on this island? I'll let you guys see the movie for yourselves to find out. I like how this movie talks about love, friendship, um, an island, of course, trying to get trying to get people back together again. And yes, there's a little bit of drama as there's all tensions arising between the two musicians, but it does have heart. This film does reveal what happened between the two musicians, how Charles got to be on this island, and why he considers Hope and Neil to be two of his favorite musicians of all time, and why he wanted them to be on this island for a gig in the first place. Well, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I definitely recommend it. So that's my movie review of the Ballad of Wallis Island. Please enjoy this movie review. Alright, goodbye.